Alright, where were we? We were pretty far along at this point, if I recall correctly. Yes, we got just about all the freestyle done now, actually. It's going along quite nicely. But, what did we want to do next? Do we have one more freestyle place to do? I think the last thing we did was the Pro's Backyard, wasn't it? So I think we have to go back to everything else here. Yeah, so 2 more Nationals, 2 more Enduro, 2 more Short Track. Okay, cool. Then one day we'll acknowledge the existence of Supercross, but that day is not today. Nationals is a nice place to start. Marshes. So is that like mud and so on, or yes, dirt and mud, but we're fine on that. I think I'll just leave everything stock, yeah. For a national. Man, these nationals are getting a little crazy. This one doesn't look as crazy long as the previous one, but pretty comparable. Again, I just kind of wish some of these nationals didn't have as many laps if they're going to have as ambitious of a course as they do. I still like the courses so far, but... And this is also a new area, isn't it? And it looks very similar to the... Oh, what was it even called? The, military slash swamp area that we've been to before. Probably using lots of the same assets, actually. I do wonder why they decided to make this into a totally new map. I guess because they get the freedom to make totally new terrain to make an interesting race, instead of having to use part of an existing map that has a track drawn over it. Anyways. Darn it. If you time it just wrong, it's funny how that can happen. If you time it just wrong, it's crazy how hard you bounce. Ah. It's funny how if you time it just wrong, you don't just find yourself bumping against the wall, you actually wipe out. Alright, this is a nice, big, open course though, yeah. Yeah, this is comfy. Yeah, I like these big, well, these big, real, smooth feeling courses that you get later in the Nationals. Oh yeah, you lose traction on this mud compared to other stuff a lot more easily. Yeah, we're on mud right now, as you might be able to guess from the color of dirt being darker, but it's a lot more slippery. I've gotten to the point where Nationals do give me a little bit of a run for my money, at least until I really figure out the course. There's nothing tricky about this course for me so far. Hello. I really wish that fence wasn't there. I would have been fine otherwise. But, to really get ahead... Yeah, okay, I didn't hit that turn well at all. To get ahead, instead, I need to actually find some part of the course that I can take better than the AI instead of just equivalently well. I need to figure out things like, oh hey, I need to preload here. Ah, man. I never realized just how slippery mud is. Feels comparable to snow in slipperiness. Alright, we're catching up. I do wish sometimes it was a little easier to tell which surfaces are what in this game. I do think it's a little bit of weakness of probably just, the technology and so on. Because I don't think they really had the means necessarily to make, for instance, mud reflect light differently than regular dirt. So you just have a texture difference, that's basically just how dark is the ground. For you to try to figure out whether something is mud or dirt. Until you drive on it and you slide like crazy. It's actually kind of nice to cut the turn there just for the sake of staying off the mud a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really catching up anywhere yet. I tried to preload there, as you probably heard, which did not work. That turn you have to make slightly harder than I expect. Going into the jump. Sliding up on the outside when I don't mean to. There you. I feel like riding the outside there might be a good idea to avoid all the bumps. I figure out the little things. To, okay, assassinated. See if I can actually stay ahead like this, though. And losing all my traction. How long have we been using this one bike for? I feel like we've gotten a kind of silly amount of mileage out of this one bike at this point. But it's just like nothing else really seems better than it, and also we don't really have money for a new bike anyways. I said we're gonna buy Columba Islands. I hope we can get a return on our investment in Columba at some point. But even if we do get money for doing freestyle events at Columba, I imagine not, because you don't. It's like you get much money for it. Right. Yeah, I'm taking these bumps real bad. Oh boy. Yeah, that went poorly. I'm turning as hard as I can. Nice, I opened up a path to get back onto the course there. The first time I went there. Oh! Slipperiness is crazy. No, that's not how you get that jump. That's a place where you preload. Okay. So it's a little hard to judge, I find. We also can get away with getting, say, second here, because it's not a huge deal having to get first on this one. But of course, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we also really have to get first on the next race, and it turns out to be really hard. Yeah. Preloaded there the first time, it turned out well. I don't know why I didn't do it the second time. Well, first and second is not quite accurate, considering we're on the 4th lap, but previous time or something to that effect, let's say. I don't know what the best way is to take a really slippery turn like this. Is it a good idea to power slide just for the sake of, since you're already losing all your traction anyways? Ow. Yeah, preloaded there last time, I had a similar outcome. Ugh. Everyone catches back up. And now we have to spend the rest of the race catching up. Why can't I preload there, ever? Okay, someone just tried to cut that corner in an unusual fashion. Doing a little accident with a bicycle almost. Trying to preload and it's not happening. Yeah, it feels almost like I'm power sliding on these mud turns, and I'm not. It's just I slide as if I was. At which point, I don't know what trying to power slide deliberate would even do. How is this one going to get so far ahead? Jeez. I need to preload in some of these places, and I'm just not doing it. Like, there's a whole pack behind me, and there's this one guy way out ahead. Okay, I don't know why I popped up way higher than usual there, but sure. Hey. It's right over my head. Touching those tires is always a bad idea, and they're just static geometry. They don't have any give or softness whatsoever. So I'm just running straight into a wall that'll knock you over. Okay, so that time I wasn't going on the left, at least. So I didn't land on that little ramp. Which is always what ruins me there. There we go. Don't fly off the left side this time. Yes, there's... Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Great. Reload there. That was nothing. I guess it preloaded too early there. Yeah. Okay. Aggressive cut at the end there. Okay, yeah, so I don't think I can get anything other than... That's an interesting name for a place. It's snow, apparently. I don't think I can get anything other than first in this tournament at this point, so I think we're okay. These races are getting long enough that it's quite awkward trying to fit two into a video. We're at a point where, like, every single episode I record on a given week is well over the intended time. Yeah, I don't remember this place. I probably never have been here, actually. These places that aren't just the freestyle courses I've probably never been on. Yeah, it's really impossible for someone to catch up to me, so it doesn't matter when I get on this next race. I'll get first no matter what. Likewise, but slightly less so for marches. All the other races I've done so far for short track for pro have not been particularly hard on turns and whatnot. I still wonder how much it makes a difference leaning forwards. I never remember to try that. But none of the pro short tracks have really felt like they have much in the way of lots of little turns you have to make that would necessitate tuning for higher acceleration. So a balanced loadout has seemed pretty appropriate. Oh, someone's got some weird sounding engines. It's a good thing that this particular bike that I'm most comfortable using is not one with an awful sounding engine. I still think the ones that you use in the tutorial and unlock from the tutorial sound absolutely horrible. That really choppy, high-pitched noise they make. Well, I guess this is going to be where I sink or swim, learning how to handle myself on mud. And last time I was in an analogous situation was that one snowy short track race, which I did absolutely awful on, so... Yeah. I had plenty of time to catch up. At the same time, I am also not proving able to catch up to start with. This is gentle enough that I could perhaps change my loadout. Okay. Yeah, so that's me turning without using a power slide. Like, I still lose traction anyways. So maybe I should just power slide and see if that allows me to turn even harder. Well, it feels like I keep more speed, but I don't turn any harder. Oh, this is probably the exact sort of thing that this... Yeah, so this is where I notice, oh yeah, I have a bike with absolutely awful handling, don't I? That might be a problem. Okay, so if I take this turn really wide... Well, not necessarily wide, but on the outside. Yeah, that works a lot better. Yeah, so I just need to be really careful about my racing line, I think. Yeah, see, they can cut on the inside a bit more than I can, so I do fall behind. You not lose control. But, okay. Yeah, look how wide I take those turns compared to everyone else. I have to start way on the outside of that turn. How did I not fall over? But yeah, doing this for 10 laps is going to be tricky. This one's also longer than that one snow one was. I may have to just say, okay, I'll accept getting like last on this one. And see if how well I can still do in this tournament in spite of that. Jeez. Extraordinarily wide turn though. I'm tempted almost to switch to one of my weaker bikes that has better handling. I was trying to power slide there and I just never started the slide for some reason. So I was banking on having an arc that I just never started. moving along. Yeah. It's a really weird trajectory compared to what everyone else is doing, but it at least helps you keep up with everyone. But yeah, I can't really get a better racing line than anyone else, and I guess it's with the terrain that I'm on. I'm having a hard time actually outspeeding everyone, despite my supposedly really good acceleration. That was an astounding power slide, okay. Nice two-wheeled slide. The other turns aren't nearly as bad. Like, this one I slide a bit, but I don't... And I lose a little to everyone else, but not nearly as bad. It's really all about this one turn that I have to take super wide, or I have to start super wide, and then I cut along it to the inside. Here I do fine. That's just a nice little straightaway, and straightaways are what I'm optimized for. Go away. Yeah, I think letting go of the gas a little also helps me regain traction if I ever need to. One thing that I tend not to... I don't know if... Game, come on. I don't know if it's ever practical in this game to actually hold the brake while turning. I've never really tried it, I don't think. That's also something that could in theory be helpful for me. Yeah, I find that letting go of the gas makes you get your traction back fairly quickly. So I may just have to occasionally let go of the gas, which of course makes you lose speed, but if it's... But doing that for the sake of getting traction back in and getting more speed off of the traction could also be good. Guys, you need to get out of my way here. Yeah, I start feeling... Yeah, so there are some of these turns, if I start turning, I lose some traction, and then I just let go of the gas for just a second, and I get my grip back. Honestly, I don't think I've ever really played a game like this, like a racing game like this, where you have to think so much. Yeah, meant to get my traction back there. That's how I cut the turn so hard and get back into the inside. I get my traction back halfway through the turn, at least when it works correctly. But I never played a game like this, a racing sort of game, where you have to think so much about the grip that you have on the ground. I like it. I'm gonna go for maybe like third. I'm just gonna see how well I can place in this race. I'm not gonna worry about getting the best possible. But I prefer to... I know I can get something better than last year, so I prefer not to have that happen. I know I can get at least third pretty comfortably, probably. Jumping their max should be a good idea, to be honest. This turn is really tricky to pull off well. Alright. Yeah, I get enough speed right up there, and the terrain's rough enough that you'll lose enough speed on it. That's actually pretty practical, I think, for you to jump a little there. That was not good, on the other hand. I'll be content-ish if I get at least fourth. I prefer at least third, but I'm not going to restart if I finish in fourth. That was one of those weird turns where I somehow kept a ton of speed despite doing a power slide. I don't really know how that happens. And this turn is the one where I drop the gas for a second. And just gets, you know, like grip back and makes really get a lot more speed out of that turn than I would otherwise. Nope. And that spawns me right on that way outside of the turn. Alright, can we get something that's not last, please? So all those cases where I was doing perfectly fine, but just ended up losing everything on the last lap. But that happens. I at least get fourth. No? Cool. Whatever. Yeah, I still don't know if it's even possible for me to lose, so whatever. Prefer to have some pride in my performance, but it is what it is. I can at least take some comfort in the fact that knowing that I have the absolute worst setup of a bike for that race that plays to my weaknesses. And I did figure it out, I just need to actually, you know, execute it. Anyways, so next time, Enduro, that'll make us feel a little bit better. A Glacier Resort, awesome. Bye everyone.